And now they want to close as much as possible small banks to more centralized power in the bigger banks. And finally, it seems that it will come maybe even to just one bank after they introduce central bank digital currency.
Exactly. This CBDC, central bank digital currency proposal, is designed to get rid of banks, essentially. I mean, think about it. It's as if the bank regulator, the central bank, is suddenly deciding to compete against the bank. If you think about a football game, soccer, football, you've got the two teams of 11 people, and you've got an umpire who's the boss. He's got the whistle. He can stop the game. He can tell a player, I warn you, or I send you out. Okay. So that's really like the central bank, this umpire. And the banks are they're competing. There's competition. They're in the game. But if the umpire suddenly thinks, hey, this is too boring for me, I want to score some goals. I've got the power. And he decides to run after the ball. Well, if you complain, I'm going to blow the whistle. I'm going to get the red card out. So the umpire suddenly using all his powers, competing against the players. That's complete nonsense. That is making a joke out of all this. But this is what the central banks are suddenly saying. You have to understand that in the past, for the last 300 years, the system has been that banks deal with the public, ordinary people, and also with the companies. And then you had a bank of banks, and that was the central bank. They had a specific function to back the banking system and help if there's a crisis or a run on the bank. Because even if a bank is very strong and healthy, if you suddenly have a rumor, you can have a run on the bank, unnecessarily endangering the bank and all the savings. So then you have this bank of banks. But this bank of banks was never supposed to compete with the banks against them and then deal with the general public. But this is what the central banks are now saying. We're going to issue a central bank digital currency, which is like saying we have our own accounts for the general public. Then all you need is a crisis. And where's all the money going to be shifted? From the banks to the central bank, which may be the intention. And a big banking crisis is exactly what I've been forecasting in Germany. They created a property bubble in Germany from 2009 to 2022. It's now ended. Property prices coming down. The banks are overextended. And when you have this banking crisis at the peak, maybe 2 years further down the road with a big recession already in Germany in the third year, lots of non-performing loans with the bankruptcies of major traditional companies, then they may roll out their CBDC, and everyone will say, well, I have to protect my own money, so I'm going to shift it from the banks to the central bank, and then the banking system is finished. If they do that, we have to stop, of course, the introduction of CBDCs because it's a totalitarian control tool. Again, it's what even a Soviet-style central planner could only have dreamt about. It's more powerful and more centralized totalitarian control over where you are, your transactions, what you're allowed to buy, because it's programmable and will, probably using artificial intelligence algorithms, be used to control the entire population and their spending patterns. And if some people are too critical of the government, sorry, but you can't use your money.
Well, we have already digital wallet, and now we are waiting until October when they will decide to continue with this central bank digital money implementation.